Welcome on in and gather round, gang. It's time for another Total War Warhammer 3 video. In this two-part short series, we are going to be making the most of the spooky season and diving into some vampire counts, and thanks to you all for casting your votes, we now have a selection on what we are going to be doing. So, we jump on in here to the vampire counts, and we're going to be playing as Vlad von Karstein. And we shall explain the rules of this little short series now. So this is going to be the We Are the Empire series. So we're only going to be allowed to use zombies, skeletons, crypt ghouls, Sylvanians, and blood knights. So anything that is a skeletal unit or blood knights or the ghouls. So anything that it would be just kind of a normal citizen of the empire or something that you would kind of see in a normal imperial army. That is what we are going to be utilizing in this series. So we are going to kind of just be cosplaying as the empire. So that means none of the mutants, beasts, or ghostly units. So we'll have all of our hero types except for banshees allowed, and then we'll have a short goal of conquering the empire while holding back chaos and the other forces of destruction. It's going to be great. This will be a two-part series like I've already said, so feel free to request any army compositions or sub-goals for the second part. I'd love to see if we can add those in if they make sense. So for any who are not aware of how Vlad works, he's returned for his home and his rightful seat at Castle Drakenhof to rule over Sylvania, with his wife Isabella at his side. Somehow, Palpatine is back. Our starting army is going to have some Graveguard with halberds as a newer unit for us, normal Graveguard, Blood Knights with lances, Vargeists, bats, and a black coach. These last three units are going to get kicked out just about immediately because these are mutants, beasties, and I don't know what this is. It's a ghost driving a cart. That's not allowed. Although, hang on. If you all say these are fine, it's kind of like the Templehof Luminarch, right? I'm going to allow corpse carts anyway because that's kind of how I see that. It's like the clergy of Sigmar has been turned. But we'll get on down to our faction effects now. So start with one blood kiss. We have access to a unique building in Drakenhof. All of our armies shall be able to move a little bit further, and we start with Isabella von Karstein as a legendary hero. Our lord effects for Vlad are going to be extra healing cap when he's in an army with Isabella, and all units will have Vanguard deployment. So we're gonna have a much more classic Total War experience just with some vampires, and all of our units will be able to deploy wherever they want, which is incredible. We'll be playing on a legendary very hard with our stat modifiers set to a neutral there, so everyone keeps their unit identity. Let's do this.
The world will drown in blood.
And so the rightful emperor descends. Yes, how they play, ensure Vlad and Isabella fight the same army to give them extra prowess. We build up the mausoleum of the Mad Count for early recruitment of high-ranked vampires. We assassinate lords or leaders. To collect blood kisses, we raise the dead, and we spread hot topic corruption. How exciting, we need to go take down Templehof. There's disgusting vampires on our borders here, and we gotta fix the empire, obviously. These guys don't belong. Well, only Imperials. We've got Emmanuel here as our first vampirist. She's perceptive, so she can see people hiding in the woods. That's pretty dang great. Extra ambush defense chance, but no success chance, which is a little bit sad. You have failed me, possibly for the last time. Isabella. That's not Isabella. Here she is. It's her blood chalice. We have extra heals and a bit of stamina recharge. It's kind of just a year bloody Gatorade. It's good stuff. Extra healing cap win with Vlad. Extra melee attack and defense for all embedded vampires. Good. We won't lean too heavily on vampires. We're here to mainly lean on the men and women of the Empire. So, Emmanuel, go ahead and join up. Isabella, you do the same. And then let's get rid of all these filthy mutants from our army. Excuse me, bats, Vargeists, and Black Coach. Gross. Filthy. We shall then raise up some proper Imperial servants. Excellent. And then we will do battle with Dieter von Stickler. Get rid of these filthy vampires. Oh, Graveguarded zombies. Interesting. Bold strategy. Stalwart sons and daughters of Sigmar, don't waver 1 inch. These undead fools cannot stand against the might of our steel, faith, and, well, we're lacking gunpowder, but we got some blood. Isabella brought a drink, so steel, faith, and extra sippies. Yeah, we got Vlad and Isabella all ready to go as a power couple. Our zombies hiding in the woods. The fact that we can deploy in Vanguard means we always get the best position in the map, which is going to be incredible for our units that won't quite be as maneuverable, since we're rolling with pretty much the legions of the Empire here with our Graveguard and skeletal units. So Like I said, hiding in the woods, we've got our zombies up front to catch the enemy, and then everyone else behind to do some chopping. Should be great. Enemies just also kind of keeping back and away from us. We're going to send the Blood Knights in to go take out some doggos. As soon as they don't have their fast movers, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. Blood Knights with lances, though, is not what I would think we're going to be using in the late game. The Blood Knights with sword and board get bonus infantry and are just goofy strong in comparison. We ride. And at the same time, the rest of our warriors are going to be getting into formation as Vlad and company drop a Melkoth's Mystifying on these Graveguard to slow them, lure them in just as the Blood Knights come crashing in. Lance is couched to hunt some undead doggo. Isabella and Vlad working together. We have the other vampire nearby as well. I have sent off on the flank to kind of catch one of these other groups, and we're sending in our troops to clash as well. So the zombies going up to engage the flank of those dogs, and then the others just to catch the Graveguard as they try to pursue our Blood Knights. Zombie Graveguard clash is not going to go the zombies' way, so we want to make sure we have more troops moving in. Our own skeletal swords, or these, the skeletal swordsmen moving in to fight the enemy chaff, alongside our Shadow Vampire, who isn't going to be doing much casting, but she's already covered in blood. But will be doing a great job leading the troops and inspiring the men as well. Blood Knight slamming back into the flank on these Graveguard as our other Graveguard are pouring out of the woods to get involved. Shield swords raised. And they smash into that flank. While our Blood Knights keep darting around. I'll give you a bit of a swirly. These weren't used the best. You can see they're very split up. Just because the Graveguard have a lot of armor and quite a bit more mass than your normal units. So they're going to be stopping your Blood Knights in their tracks in a lot of cases. Halberds v Sword and Board, though. Gonna be pretty much a toss-up there, although your Halberds do have that armor piercing to help them out. Blood Knights starting to lose some models as they're fighting like 3 or 4 different units at the same time. Enemy Lord clashing with Vlad. Trying to take on the Emperor himself. Foolish. Isabella is nearby. She is engaged with... I don't know where she's at, actually. She should be just right nearby. Oh yeah, there she is. Just behind. Kept giving him attack orders to go after this single lord, but you all know how that is. They would ignore me to keep stabbing random vampires that she's doing here. Trying to pad those stats. I think goes for an attack on Isabella. Vlad doesn't like that. He misses, though. Oh, stabbed right in the back. He's infatuated. You shouldn't be touching the lady like that. And now him and Vlad can get back to dueling. We're casting all of the healing we can on our Blood Knights. As you can see here, they're starting to drop models. Let's see if I can show you. Caught between 2 sets of Graveguard. They're definitely hurting a bit. Fantastic they are against anything that is large, so large targets they rip down in a hurry. But against some things like this, you definitely want the sword and board variant. Graveguard just standing there, daring those horses to get closer. New Halberdier Graveguard putting in some good work. They're actually winning that duel pretty effectively against others of their same kind. And now Vlad's getting jumped by 3, or this random vampire lord, rather, is getting jumped by 3 vampires. And he's not having a good time. Got him good and surrounded. Absolutely covered in the blood of both allies and foes. Kinda hard to tell who's who here, though. Red garbed on both sides. The enemy lord crumples to his knees, and with him, the binding on his troops. Vlad and Isabella defeat the first army of heretics. Alright, I think we taught that dirty undead a lesson. Our Blood Knights, we lost a few Blood Knights, but that's fine. Let's move on in by... I think we just need to murder them. More experienced Sigmar wills it. Templehof defeated, now we can march on Essen. Warriors. Can we raise any more? Ah, we could with their bats. I don't really want to do that. Alright, no worries then. We shall march on with the soldiers we have. Here in Drakenhof, let's go ahead and upgrade up to the corrupted village. The sprawling ancestral forces of the, or fortress rather, of the von Karstein bloodline. Ever since the coming of Vlad, it has been the de facto political center of Sylvania. And the new capital of the Empire, of course. For the Emperor has returned. Here at Drakenhof, we shall go ahead and grab... It wants you to go for this building early on, but I think we just want money. So we'll snag the Tarnished Gold Shaft. And destroy these sinister copes, because we aren't going to use any nasty beasts. That's not how the Imperials work. Diviner. Well, that's excellent. Stealing items, extra chance to grab magical items. Alright, well, Diviner it is. We need some goodies.
The world will drown in blood.
Let's have you replenish troops, and then Isabella can get the Hungel, so she can heal in battle. Sweet. Now we march on Essen. For the glory of Sigmar. Glorious sons of Sigmar, pity not our heretic foe, for the blade will cleanse them in the afterlife. Or something like that. Vlad and Isabella stand to get rid of this town full of vampires. Well, I guess there's no vampires here, just sad zombies and some bats and some doggos. We're here to deal with that, so we'll have the lads march on in. No reason to get the boys tired. Von Karsteins understand tactics far better than most. I do love the kind of ghost fire emanating up from the swamps too. Makes for a very cool looking scene and aesthetic. Yes, march on into battle. As the enemy captain squares off against us here, we are going to send our knights forward slowly, and then give orders to the rest of the crew. So let's go ahead and speed things up 1 or 2 ticks. As you'll see our units get into order, we've got the zombies going to crash with the enemy as kind of just the sorted board front line here, so the ones that are a little bit more tanky we'll send the zombies into. And then we can have Vlad, Isabella, and our Grave Guard rip apart those flanks. So for now, a slow march in. We'll speed things up once more. Isabella casts quickly the Dance Macabre to boost speed and melee attack for a devastating alpha strike here. Slams into the Hound Dogs, dealing a chunk of damage right off the bat, and hopefully that can continue for the full 10 seconds that charge bonus lasts. Broke their leadership right off the bat, so they should start crumbling away, and it looks like the rest of the army is not even going to worry about it. Vampires charging forward, but then giving them an about-face, breaking some ankles to go slay these bats, who I guess kind of foolishly jump into our halberds. Seems like the worst possible engagement for them. So Vlad and some halberds versus the bats, and then the Lady Vampires shall do another about-face and turn and attack, acting as an anchor for these zombies. Realized the zombies are all alone out there. Skeletons smash together purple and red shields. The Grave Guards move to the flanks, and they are now squaring up with zombies, which should be a very easy takedown for them. Blood Knights also circling for a flank on one of the targets that is the most damaged in terms of leadership. We locate and send them in. As they get more and more charge bonus and more speed and things, they'll get much better at smashing through lines. For now, they don't do a bad job. They break leadership and they start crumbling away, just like I want to say. Graveguard now locked in combat with the zombies, cleaving skulls, arms, whatever's in their way. That is not a fight. The zombies have any chance in Hades of winning. Blood Knights pulling on away from their flank to get another cycle charge in. As the bat's been defeated, the Graveguard can move in to help the other Graveguard with their zombie threat. Vlad knocking aside friend and foe alike, but that should be a very quick fight. We'll send the Halberdiers in to help the zombies up front here. Are struggling a little bit. Ones with the lowest leadership are going to get a few casts of healing, just to keep them in the fight a bit longer and keep resurrecting those zombies so they can keep fighting and dying for the Empire. Zombies, I mean, peasants, of course. Blood Knights slam into the skeletons that were pursuing them, but then go ahead and pull out for another cycle charge. Vlad comes screaming in. You heard his Blood Knights? Gives that guy the almighty kick. And the Graveguard can charge in behind and finish off the rest. Slow motion jump attack. The Knights are back. We can send them through the lines. Now it's just zombies. Should be a very simple matter. As the zombies on the flanks, though, have both been broken, our Graveguard can get in and take out the flanks. Once more to the breach. Skeletons seem fairly eager to meet them. Actually, a couple of them caught those swords on those shields. That's only on +2 defense for being a rotten wooden shield, though, so it's not going to be that great. Once again, though, the Blood Knights kind of spread out. We can see their weakness is that they can get spread out very easily in infantry. And once they do, especially when those infantry start getting a little bit more elite, they can go down in a hurry. But that's a victory, and a town cleansed. And by Sigma, we routed those filthy undead and cleansed the town. Glorious. 66 fell in the fighting. They'll be honored in the taverns. We've also got the Black Periapta, so extra spell intensity, and nice. This one's incredible. Well, that's our first conquest. I think Sigmar needs us to get in here and purge the town of any corruption. Indeed. Extinguished Phoenix Pin on. That's incredible. Gets rid of some of our fire weakness because our peasants didn't upkeep our armor well enough. Yes. So now we've got to go conquer 2 provinces. Yeah, we gotta obviously get rid of the rest of this vampiric grip on the land, and then we can get back to reclaiming the Empire from the fools who inhabit it. Of course, while we sit here, we're definitely going to want to grab ourselves some more friends. I'm thinking not a vampire, but a master necromancer. We'll bring in one of the men of the Empire and teach him our ways. So spotter, it's not bad, honestly. Let's go discipline, though, to buff up everything in the army. Make the warriors stronger. Always in control. This one leaves no stone unturned, nothing to chance. And he loves darkness. Go ahead and put him in march stance, and let's keep it to the side of Vlad. And we'll have Vlad recruit in. Let's go 1 warrior, 1 spear. And our march continues. Although before we end the turn, let's go ahead and pop in and grab Aura of Dark Supremacy for Vlad. We'll begin our technology with the Lamian Book of Blood, granting us a blood kiss and some old growth. And we'll probably pretty quickly circle to grabbing the Book of Arcan and upgrading the glorious men of the Empire. As the newly anointed Emperor, though, we would be remiss to not do a bit of politicking. Hello there, Thorgrim. I shall offer you assistance in your fight with the Greenskins. I will hear you beg now. I will assist you in your fight with the Greenskins.
Fine. I accept.
But you're still in the book. That's fine. Karakadrin, I will join you
in my hall, Ozkiller.
in your fight with the Greenskins. And we'll take a non-aggression pact. I am used to taking conflicting oaths, so I'll accept your offer while despising you. See, that works for me. Zufbar, I shall join you in your war against nothing. So Zufbar we're probably going to have to deal with, actually. That's just fine. Everyone else starting to like us a little bit more, though, because we're fighting Templehof. Weird how that works. Weird how that works. Does anyone wish to trade with the Emperor? No? Fair enough. Making money apparently is not in anyone else's mind. As the turn falls to us, Vladdy Boy can get moving towards Castle Templehof, which has a single necromancer hiding inside. And quite a few undead, so this will be a little bit more of a fight for us. We probably shouldn't have gotten rid of those extra units, so we may need to build up, although they are doing the same. So you know what, let's go ahead and attack with Vlad. We'll raise some troops while we're here.
I want their souls.
Yes, we'll grab the zombies and all of the skeletal warriors. Kevin will send up behind.
Very well.
Staying in Essen. And then you can recruit up some more skeletal warriors while we wait a turn to build up some siege equipment. So here at this, let's go ahead and grab the towers, and that's it. Take 2 turns to get these towers. Interesting. I'm willing to wait. We should treat this as a proper Imperial. Set up the siege equipment, lads. Set up the siege equipment.
Annihilate them.
Manuel, we'll give you some skills. You can have more armor.
Death
Isabella,
and
you can get
destruction.
a stronger healing spell. Fantastic. Meanwhile, in Drakenhof proper, we'll go ahead and grab a charnel pit to further our growth. Alright, so we now have entered the court of the false Emperor Karl Franz, but we shall be a clever statesman, and we'll go ahead and offer to join his war against the Warherd of the Apocalypse, or the Warherd of the One-Eyed, and he'll give us some money. Yes, we do have an accord, don't we? As I continue to build resources for my eventual invasion. Another turn, and would you look at that, we have some more minions. So we'll go ahead and raise them up a bit like this. Kevin, do you have any minions where you're at? No minions we want, filthy. Alright, well in that case, how many more turns before we have the equipment built up? One more? I don't know that I want to wait. Although at this point, I think we can go ahead and attack. Yeah, there's no reason to wait. Continue the siege, we need to take them out fast, especially since we're here in Legendary, so... Kevin, advance.
Metropolis awaits.
We'll have you switch out these for zombies, and then we'll have you recruit zombies. For now, Kevin, you are going to be the zombie herder. What a fun job for you. Vlad,
Massive.
let's destroy them. Fear not, people of Templehof, for the Inquisition of the Empire has arrived to save you. Yes, Vlad, Isabella, and Emmanuel all up front. Hello there, Emmanuel. Your eyes are looking quite bright today. Same with our zombies. So we've got our legions kind of stacked up on this side, and I have a decoy squad over here to convince our foes that they should be worried about something over here. I'm going to have them just kind of march forward and then back on repeat, because that will convince the AI that there's something going on over there, and they shouldn't send all their troops to defend on this angle. Vlad and Isabella are going to attack this gate, while Emmanuel goes to the other with the Blood Knights. Standing against us, we have some crypt ghouls up on the walls. I'm not really sure exactly what they want to get to. They run still, unfortunately. Not quite undead. They're not all the way dead. They're just people who have been mutated and... Oh, knock that over. People have been mutated mostly through kind of dark cannibalism and such. Not just normal eating folks. You have to be eating folks and have some kind of weird, emotional state going on at the same time. And then you turn into a little baby Wendigo. She phases through that brick, fair enough. It's chopping through the gates with the Blood Knights in close pursuit. We'll go ahead and speed things up here because it takes quite some time to get through the gates. We're saving our mana, of course, because they have a Necromancer as well, who can just heal any of the wounds that we deal with our magic. We've got Spearmen taking up position over here. Plan is, as soon as the gates get kicked in, we send in zombies and some skeleton warriors and send the spearmen round to throw up some ladders and distract any of the units that are not already engaged with Vlad and our main gate crashers. When Kevin and his reinforcements arrive, we're going to send them straight into the gates over here and once again just be a distraction. Make our foe think we're attacking on that angle as well, which of course we are not. The gate's going to take a while to go down. It's almost there, though. Always looks cool when they blast open. Because of the, this is, it doesn't have the legendary camera, we can actually sit over here and watch it happen. They tremble with anticipation as the sounds of the lightsabers cutting through the Durasteel. All the way through. And the doors get kicked open, unleashing the zombies, Vlad and Isabella, on these hapless dogs. I guess immediately turn to run. Cowardice. It won't save you, though. Vlad leading the charge. Zombies come limping in right behind them. Normally gonna have a bad time, but since they're rolling with Vlad and Isabella, they're gonna do very well. Our enemy also going to be sending in everything they can to go stop Isabella and Vlad. We got the bats fluttering overhead, as our legions just kind of take position outside. We got Emmanuel on the Blood Knights ripping through this. Can't actually quite see it, can we? They're getting there. They're about halfway. That's dropped down into melee with Vlad and Isabella, losing a good number of their swarm right off of that. I decided to send the zombies around the side to try to get some flanks and distract them. That way we could bring more troops in through the gates. Skeleton Warriors, the first of the breach. Gonna be fighting against Graveguard, which normally would be a problem, but Graveguard fighting Skeleton Warriors and zombies at the same time actually tend to lose that engagement. There's too many swords, cudgels, and the like for them to deal with. Now cost mystifying to make sure those bats went away a bit faster. Kevin has arrived, and so his zombies are making their move on the other gateway, the other entrance. Just undead bones and flesh pouring through the now open gateway. Ladders also deployed. The spear boys are taking position on the wall, trying to get them a little bit more organized before sitting them in down. Otherwise, they go into combat kind of one at a time and just get killed quite quickly. So you want to try to get them organized at least a bit. Our opponent responding, though, with some purple-clad shieldmen. We'll see if they manage to make a difference. You're the front line, though. The battle is raging in earnest. Purple and red shields kind of mixed in together. All of our units are blended. It'll be much easier to see what's going on when we're fighting other factions, but for now, enjoy the chaos. The ghouls charge on it as well. I'm going to actually be able to deal some pretty good damage, but Vlad's splash is about 20 of them away from him. Their swordsmen crossing the walls. Ours are actually coming down, I guess, one at a time. So not really being the most organized, but it's working out in our favor. Gates are open on this side, where Emmanuel has locked eyes with the Necromancer and is chasing him down aggressively. Vlad casts over some Dance Macabre to give her some more speed and melee attack to assist with this assassination. One shot gets through the barrier immediately. She misses the second. Here's see how much damage we're getting per swing here. Goes for a cast of some healing, and that is a chunk of health. Vampires make short work of pretty much every other kind of hero. But look at that health drop. We'll get to Vlad and Isabel in a second. This is an epic duel. Not for this guy. He's being used as target practice. Too bad we don't have any more match combat animations, but it's not the worst. And we got one more swing, and he crumples. Possibly playing possum. Could be pretending to be down because he didn't want to cross blades with Emmanuel one more time, and that would make sense. He's distracting and deadly. Back over with Vlad and his glowy blue lightsaber. Almost feels like he has a kind of a corrupted version of a rune thing, and he very well might. If you have more my lore information, or more my depth of lore knowledge on the undead is very shallow. Gotta get in there and watch some more Lorebeards. Isabella goes for the old Chalice backhand. One of the more disrespectful ways to be sent to the afterlife. Or I guess, re-sent to the afterlife. Blood Knights crashing in with Emmanuel can pretty easily make mincemeat of anything they decide to tag team. Keeps going for the almighty kick, though. Use your sword. There it is. Sword, very dangerous. Kick, not as dangerous. Just a big blob fight. Most of our enemies are disintegrating now. You can see over here Kevin and our zombie squad, the Horde, knocking at the gates. We'll be through eventually. And when we do, that one unit of spearmen is in so much trouble. And the next real fight is now underway, with Emmanuel charging into these spears, getting surrounded quite quickly and getting acquainted with a whole bunch of spear tips. We do have some support coming in here in a moment, but we do want to crush this first army before we send them back, so we've got the Blood Knights slamming into this flank, which should finish breaking that leadership. Yeah, souls very quickly leaving the desiccated corpses, or at least the black magic keeping them animated. On all but the ghouls. Actually, I would love to see CA take lore into consideration and turn the ghouls into a unit that doesn't crumble and just runs away. Giving them a leadership would be great. A great nod to them being not all the way undead. Would also make the unit probably quite a bit better. Now Emmanuel's got a little bit of a problem on her hands, getting jumped by some Black Knights and Spearmen together, which is a very dangerous combo. We, though, have the Horde arriving, so Vlad and his Knights charging across. We also have the Beguilement that we can cast down, which is going to give a negative 40 to these Knights' attack. So if we see that here, is that down yet? Yeah, they're down to 0 melee attack. You can never have a 0% chance to hit. I think the lowest they can get to is 5 or 10% chance to hit, but that is extremely bad and allows our Vampirists and all the other frontline fighters bashing in here to be much more tanky. I love the Crested Knights. I also wouldn't mind some Foot Blood Knights. CA, if you want to make Blood Knights on foot and have them dropped as a free LC variant, that'd be incredible. You gotta make them kind of like, I would say that they need to be more like a aspiring champion style unit then. Gates break in, and they crumble away at the sight of Kevin. He's so terrified. Kevin, they didn't want to fight you. Decisive win, and Templehof has been cleansed. Easy enough. Templehof falls. Zelig, the heretic, is butchered in the streets. We only have 199, so that was a very well executed siege, everyone. Kevin was an excellent distraction. Good jobs all around. Extra undead cookies for all. This settlement, though, we're not going to go ahead and loot and occupy. We need to just keep this as is, because the people of Sigmar shouldn't be spending their gold rebuilding. File of Cairn does give us access to Crypt Ghouls and a Corpse Cart, both of which I said we would go ahead and use. We're just not going to be able to use the Crypt Horrors or the Cairn Wraiths, which seems fair enough. Kevin, I think I want you to go back and claim Waldenhof. So you go back to Essen.
Then go.
Then go.
Darkness.
And you'll build up to claim that. So we can go for the Aura of Supremacy to draw the leadership of the undead around. Always good. Curse of Undeath every time Isabella's casting. Everyone in the army shall be healing. Not actually, it is actually just as good as the one for the Tomb Kings. It resurrects dead combatants. Spam spells after the battle and just during the battle. Emmanuel, we'll go ahead and give you the ability to do more damage with your Melkoths. Or at least do more damage. I think this is from further away, isn't it, when you upgrade it? Yeah, just extended cast range, so not actually worth to overcast. You might as well get in close.
The world will drown in blood.
Indeed. Let's give you the Hunger and Restless Dead so we can move a bit further. First quest battle is at rank 7, second at rank 12. We've got this. Kevin, good sir. I do. You recruit up some skeleton warriors. Now we have a little bit of punch. Waldenhof will be defended. Oh, actually, very decently. We'll go after Waldenhof last either way.
Everything dies.
Vlad can go take down a Fort Overstyre. I don't really think we'll actually recruit any of these just yet. So the Defiled Cairn. Oh, hang on now. We do want the Corpse Cart. I'll lie the bit. Combine up all these skellies and give us... Let's go 2 Corpse Carts. So we'll just get rid of the other skellies too. Alright, as it's the next turn, we're going to go ahead and send more zombies into the mine to make us more money. Upgrade our Lich Yard for some Necromancers and more growth. And then also get access to our White Kings. And that's about all we have in terms of cash. Actually, we'd love to get access to White Kings, but we can't really afford them yet. So we may just need to go for the Gibbet to make some money. And then with the Gibbet, we can also grab... Do we need the Balefire Brazier? I don't think so. No, we don't. We'll save cash from there.
I thirst
Vlad can march easily on Overstyre, although we do have our Blood Kiss. It's enough to awaken definitely one of the Von Karsteins, because that's what we are. Give us access to the Sylvanian crossbowmen and more replenishment rate. I think for all other campaigns you go for Lamian first, but Vlad needs some family. Alright, and if we so wish, we could go ahead and replace Kevin, but I think we'll keep him for now, and we'll get, well, as soon as we have enough for another Lord, that's when we'll bring in the Von Karstein. We do get some Sylvanian crossbows. I think we will replace some more Skelly Warriors with some Sylvanian crossbowmen. Fairly expensive, and they're pretty much just crossbows. But now we've got some missiles and some proper Imperials to add to our army. We march on Overstyre.
I want their soul.
Although before we do burn another heretic at the stake, I forgot to show us our technology. So the Lamian Book of the Dead, said to be transcribed from the scrolls of Neferata herself. This grave codex instructs recently sired vampires in the art of infiltrating, influencing, and spreading the vampiric curse across the world. That's why we have the Blood Kiss, and we'll get 10 more growth as well. Now, let's get to butchering this poor unfortunate. And now that we have some state troops of our own on our side, it's time to really show these fools the might of the Empire. We only have one for now, but that will be increased in time. We also now have our first corpse cart, so we've piled up a whole bunch of peasants, and we got to impale them through the chest? That's one way to get that done. And then our Necromancer drives the what normally would be worthless farmers of the Empire onward towards battle. How exciting. Yeah, your Sylvanian crossbows, I don't think are any different from normal crossbowmen. They're just from Sylvania. Such weapons require a little more skill and the ability to point and shoot. Even the small folk can be trusted with their use, as long as they don't shoot them at their vampire overlords. Speaking of, this filthy heretic sends his doggos and bats through the woods. Yeah, you know you want to. We're just going to continue to march towards them slowly. And then basically just strike them as they get closer. No reason to have the troops run. We have the best position on the map. We're just going to sit here and wait. Yes, we are in the kind of slowdown zone, but that's worse for them than us because we have our crossbows back here to take advantage. Blood Knight's going into the woods to deal with the dogs, and we'll send Emmanuel to help out with that problem. Same thing with these spears and zombies. They're going to go ahead and get moved to kind of stop them from actually charging. As long as you have a unit set up to stop any kind of flanks, it tends to bug the AI's decision-making out, and then they just kind of walk units forward no matter what difficulty of battle you have, which is good. We drop a Milk Cost Mystifying to do some damage on these bats. Rips their health away very quickly. And then the Blood Knights go charging into the woods with a Dance Macabre to give them a bit more speed and attack, which they normally lose in the woods. Serious damage. The bats descend as well, and they are having the worst day. Blood Knights can easily take on both these units, especially with the buffs we've given them, and then Emmanuel charging in behind to give a little bit of support. Your bat-sized dogs and dog-sized dogs stand no chance. Got a very defensive formation now here. Our crossbows start to shoot on in. Let's see if they have good sounding crossbows. They can be a little bit more thunky. Drop the beguilement though on these bats, so they should have about 0 melee attack. They'll deal a bit of damage, but if you can kind of wait and use that tactically, any of the units they're trying to kind of blitz with their flyers get immediately almost impervious to their attack. Graveguard charging from either side. Vlad's blue Rune Fang getting to work. I'm going to stop calling it a Rune Fang till I know it is or not. Alright, now it's time for our battle lines to clash. Zombies v zombies. Massive rotting flesh crashing into one another. Cudgels at the ready. Our spearmen also charging in to catch these swords. They will actually win this fight easily, especially with any amount of support. Trying to use our Blood Knights and Emmanuel to draw these swordsmen out of the woods. I probably should have sent Emmanuel into attack, but that was not something I was clever enough to go for. Just try to pull them away. Zombies and zombies moving in to stop that nonsense. corpse carts, for any who don't know, is going to actually let me show you, are able to provide on skeleton spearman. Come on now, work with me. The Vigor Mortis ability, so in a 35-meter range, all of our warriors shall become tankier, deal more damage, or have a higher chance to hit, and then recharge their Vigor. This thing can also regenerate, so it is able to kind of heal up in the face of danger. Normal corpse carts are fine, there's much better ones later on. These are mainly just to make your troops. You got a Graveguard, Spearman, and Halberdier combo on that flank. Ancient Blades crash into Rotting Bone, maybe Brittle Bone. Crossbowmen blasting where they can. They don't have the best firing archer for this battle. Need to figure out a better formation to set up in, that way we can get them shooting into the flanks like over here. Although bothering their Necromancer and forcing them to heal himself is a very good idea. Vlad has now broken free from the enemy line, given himself a Dance Macabre, and is now going to close that gap with a vengeance. This is the old +5 attack, jump attack, dealing a heap of damage right off the bat. And now we've got ourselves another duel. Oh, okay. You want to try to block those, not take a sword to the face. Turning your back to Vlad von Karstein seems like the best way to get chopped clean in half. All these hands won't stop him. In the back lines, you can see all of his forces starting to crumble. I guess that's what he was trying to just run away and maybe get one more heal. But Vlad gives him the last slice. An arm goes flying, and that is another heretic sanctified. There is, of course, nothing but defeat for the foes of the Empire as Templehof is crumpled. 71 fall in that fight. We didn't really expect to lose many anyway, just auto-resolve thought these two skellies would die, which is foolish. Foolish and inane. We'll go ahead and claim Overstyre, and now we just must march on to Waldenhof to reclaim all of this territory. And I think we should then worry about dealing with either the Wood Elves or figuring out which other faction around here hates us the most. I'm going to try to keep the Dobby from attacking us. If it doesn't work, we'll be dealing with them soon too, but we're going to try to keep them on side. Here at Drakenhof, we need 2,700 for the Mausoleum of the Mad Count. I'm thinking, since we are going to be dealing with quite a bit of nasty soon, let's go ahead and grab the Ghost Fence instead, just to get better defenses in Drakenhof. That way, all we really need to do to defend it is grab a quick Lord on the fly. Extra leadership's pretty good. Children for the Night, though. Ooh, that's upkeep production and extra experience gain for heroes, which we have too. Extra troop replenishment for Emmanuel, and then Isabella. Let's give you the raised dead ability. Such a strong one. We are then going to get going on the Book of Arkan to make our zombies cheaper and give them more leadership. And then to do a bit more statesmanship, we'll go ahead and join Sterland in their war with the Deceivers of Tzeentch, and we'll just go ahead and take their gold. May More forgive me. He probably won't, and neither will we. That'll give us just enough darkness to upgrade the Corrupted Village here and try to get us access to the wine resource. And would you look at that, Waldenhof was not even a challenge. So from here, while we could get into another fight fairly quickly with either Drycha or the people here, I think we're going to try to play a bit of 4D chess and let Drycha go to war with the Bone Rattlers. He does tend to come in and fight her. I don't know if it's scripted, but I've almost never seen them stay at peace for long. They tend to go to war quite quickly and clash Branch and Orky Blade. So as the Von Karsteins, we're going to move on down into the Moot and Needling and get ready to blitz both of these, but we're going to do a bit of a kind of intern simulator while we kind of build up our forces in the meantime. We're going to go ahead and grab the upgrade here at Schwarzhofen, so we can get even more growth or income should we desire. Alright, turns out Nagash is mad at us, and we can either pay him some money and we get better control, or we just don't care and better growth. We will take more growth.
A quest has been issued, mighty
Thank
lord.
you, Dodgy Johan. We'll get to that
Great
later
adventure
on.
beckon.
That's going to be nasty. I see 2 rocket batteries here. And we are lacking in cavalry for the moment. Once we have some more cavalry in, I won't be as concerned by this, but in the meantime, Warhead of the One Eye is gone, and also known as the Tome of Bone, this dread volume, authored by Arkin the Black, is filled with his secrets for instilling vigor and other deadly abilities into zombified and skeletal vessels. This makes our zombies very cheap and will grant us more leadership for all of our skeletons and zombies. We are starting to power them up so that we can become the proper empire here. It's nothing too insane yet, but we'll get there. Our zombies are also down to costing us only 16, so we can have absolute hordes of them nice and easily. We're going to send Emmanuel over to find some heroes, because we could use some extra blood kisses. So Emmanuel is going to go check. We also now have access to some necromancers. So we're going to have one recruit up here with Vlad. Ambush success chance. Strider and Dread Incarnate. Ooh, this is so good. Negative 16 leadership for everyone in a 35-meter radius. You get 3 of those. Causes terror and drops leadership by 2. So, Burn, you're staying here. And we'll go ahead and grab one more as well. So we got Luther, the Cunning. I'm thinking he's the best call. Extra success chance for ambushes in our regions. So as long as we're chilling as a kind of a group here, if the Dawi come out of their mountains, we can punish them aggressively, because they are not going to like us much. Oh, the Changeling.
Almost not impossible.
Sure. Whatever, he's turned into Wolfric. Is he actually doing things? I see Zinj corruption. He looks like he just sacked Wurtbag, so he is doing things. That's cool.
Why, of course, my liege.
That is quite cool. Alright, well here at Overstyre, we're going to go ahead and pop in the Gibbet to make some more money, and that's all we've got, so... We'll do some technology. Technology research. Raise newly dead, or... Let's go ahead and pop up into Blood is Power to get more growth and income from cities, and then we can go into upgrading our lads to the 9 Hells. Although our intern simulator can be interrupted by the attempt of assassination of Hans.
Time to die.
Maybe.
That will stop.
Did you fail? That was a waste of money. We get a possessed mirror though, so we have extra line of sight for Emmanuel, which is not bad. We can see a bit further into Imperial Domain. Yeah, fair enough. If anything, we may end up going after... So what does the pottery give us? Just income, growth, and income quite a bit. We have our heading. Alright, the Empire is doing very poorly. As you can see, smoke now rising from Needling. It looks like the Changeling is actually active and out and doing things, which is crazy. Well, Ulstermark's gone for now. Vlad has been foiled in his ambush, so we're going to try to see if Brundon actually has any ill intent in his heart. And if his little stunty self wants to come out of the mountains, we will destroy him. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into an ambush and just kind of allow that to take on. Does he have any... Just units? And can any of you steal technology? Oh, you could. Let's see, this is going to convince Brundon to come attack us faster. Let's go for it. This may also piss off all of the Dawi. It'd be a very, very bad idea. Now, he doesn't seem to care about Zufbar at all. Weird, Zufbar apparently is self-isolated. Either way, we can go ahead and pop in the Angled Vine patch here in Essen and hope we have just enough gold to try to wound this guy again. Come on, Emmanuel. Oh, we don't have enough money. Well, that's too bad.
You dare.
We'll just bring you back over a little bit so we can see things. We can easily hit Theodric next turn. Is there anything we can do through diplomacy? Oh, that's funny. The Changeling attacks Volshofen, and there's really nothing we can do here because that's a Zinch army. From the shadows. Alright, things are going a little bit spicy. We're going to recoup the gold from Schwarzhofen because we were upgrading it, and I guess that's why the Changeling came on through. Like I said, it's cool to see him active, but it's a bit unfortunate. Go ahead and repair these buildings the Beastmen rampaged through and broke. And we have 3,000 now, so we can go ahead and use that to upgrade Templehof, I think is the best call. Or, how long before we get Drakenhof up? 6 turns. Well, actually, no, we just need the gold, which is 3,600. We'll just wait then. Drakenhof is what we need to upgrade. Jevin shall acquire Ooh, ghouls are expensive. We'll go ahead and grab some. Ghouls and goblins. Then I guess one more set of zombies. We'll be lucky if we have enough to upgrade Drakenhof next turn, but if Brundon comes down to attack us, we should be ready to go. I'm hoping he does, but this is legendary. They do what they want. Ooh, it's time to influence Zufbar now. So I don't want a non-aggression pact, but I just want your gold. I'll join your war with the Skull Takers and Black Venom tribes, both, and you'll give me 1,300. But of course you agree, you have no choice. The Bone Rattlers now don't like us much. Treaties with Kareza Karak. And we might get into a fight with Azag. We're trying to play everyone here, but... oh, in fact, we might even declare war on Crooked Moon. We'll see how that one goes. I don't want to get involved if the dwarves just get rolled down the mountain. They're still deteriorating. Let's go ahead and have Vlad.
I shall enslave the world.
Oh, because of the one Necromancer. You stay here. And Vlad, you come on down to Schwarzhofen. Step into this side of Overstyre. We're going to try to suss out where the Changeling is hiding.
It is night.
Upgrade Drakenhof. I would laugh if now's when Brundon attacks. It would be a mirthless chuckle. Here is a great motivator. The living and the captured, or within the captured settlement, must appease their new lord, or become delicious blood bags. Moving on to Blood's power, and the Changeling didn't leave.
Of course, my liege, at your command.
Sure, you're gonna talk the smack, but you know what's about to happen to you, son. Death. Death for... who have you turned into? Are you Wolfric? He was showing us who he was previously. Maybe it'll show us here. Halden Cloaked. Oh, Village of the Curseling, really? Well, that'll be interesting. Lots of blue fire. Our troops are going to have a bad time here. Thankfully, though, they're undead and we don't really care. Crossbows need to be able to survive to blast into the Changebringers. Changebringers suffer immensely against any kind of ranged attacks, which we don't have. Isabella does. That's fantastic. Alright, well, this should be a great battle. You almost never see the Changeling actually out doing anything. And Isabella and Vlad managed to capture the Changeling, and let's bring him to justice for his crimes against the Empire. Right, my bony sons of Sigmar. We are going to have a little bit of time to wait here, but I can at least explain the overall battle strategy and what's going on, since this is an army that if you were the player, you could easily beat what Vlad's got going on here, just with the flamethrowers and all of the missile troops and Furies alone. However, we've got Isabella, and she's a monster. She can use all sorts of direct missile spells, but use those on the Iridescent Horror and the Changeling. And then we need to focus very heavily on dealing with the Changebringers. These things are a nightmare. We've got our own kind of setup over here where the crossbows are our most important unit. Everything else is going to be expendable chaff thrown into the way of the Changebringers just to lock them down and allow our crossbows a chance to blast into them. Missiles do tend to be the biggest weakness for Changebringers and Flamers both, so as long as we can keep the fire up, we should have a good time. If we can manage to sneak in the Blood Knights as well, and that should also delete that unit in a hurry, but there are all sorts of dangers over there with the blue fire and the metal spells. We'll have to keep ourselves safe. However, there's a little bit of time to wait before the reinforcements arrive, and so we shall. And what do you know, like that, the rest of our bony boys trundle on into combat. Graveguard are going to stay back, and you can kind of see here getting the alliance set up. They're all deployed currently, and then we'll set up, as long as my mouse works with me, you can see it giving it problems. Plan is to set up the zombies from the settlement up front as the main kind of chaff. They're going to get shot to pieces by the blue horrors. They're likely not even going to make it into combat. They're just there to be a nuisance and slow the enemy for a moment. And we'll have the skeletons take the other flank here, as you'll see just in... there you are. Rush in on that side and actually get some damage as long as they can reach those blue horrors. In the meantime, we're also going to be sending Isabella and the Hound Dogs forward. I lost Isabella for a moment. Her icon was gone. So the Hounds we're going to send forward, and Isabella's going to go with them. And we're going to send her up to shoot some Gaze of Dagash towards this Iridescent Horror and see how much damage we can get. Isabella closes the gap, and the hounds are bothering all of the blue horrors in the background here, just trying to convince them to use some of their ammunition. Isabella in position goes for a overcast gaze of the gash. And how much damage do we get? All the way down to half health. This man is doomed. They sent the big blue chicken after our hounds. It has no chance of catching them unless it uses its petrification gaze ability. You can see some of the remnants of the blue fire that completely missed the hounds and almost took out some of the changebringers. From here we thought, oh yeah, we can definitely lure in this this cockatrice and get it fighting with Vlad and a couple of the blood knights, and that should drag this poor Zinchaline bird down in no time. It'd be really cool if eventually you could find a way to reanimate. I mean, I guess we already have that with the animate the dead thing, so never mind. Ignore and forgive me. And now Isabella's spells have been recharged. This iridescent horror is, what you call doomed. He should have run. Also kind of curious that the cockatrice didn't decide to go over and attack Isabella. Would have been a very good way to shut this down, but what can you do? One more shot away, and that's the end for the iridescent horror of metal, so we don't have to worry about our blood knights getting dragged down if they surround something. Hits the ground with a thud, and with that, definitely all the forces are going to stream in now. They realize, oh no, Isabella can just keep doing that, can't she? Absolutely. And she's got better aim than the Changeling, who shot 2 blue fires in with no effect. Isabella is closing in on our lines, and the chicken arrives as well. Gets a single strike in before getting beguiled, losing all of its melee attack. Here, let's get out of this, down to 5 melee attack. And now it has to duel with Isabella, some zombies, Vlad, and the Blood Knights whenever they arrive. Watch the health bar disappear. Hounds come in to rip off that shield as well. Its leadership already struggling quite a bit. While it does have cool combat animations, it will not save it. In the meantime, our zombies are moving on forward to distract the rest of the Changeling's troops, and try to convince a few of these Furies to drop in somewhere that's not as effective. Knights charge in, taking out a few of the Furies. They're all just kind of streaming in here together, so Vlad and Isabella and the Blood Knight should easily be able to handle that. Cockatrice has enough health and leadership, it should be able to come back. You can see the Changebringers change. Changebringers? Yes, they're coming on over here to blast some fire in. Which, in lore, it's supposed to feel also, it's like a mixture of healing and then you immediately are turned into goop. Oh yeah, so there's the fire blast. Those are the cool ones. And why they could have easily beat our squad had they been a bit more clever with the use of these Changebringers. See the blue fire crackling in on our moist undead here. I don't think we have a weakness to fire just yet, but they're not having a good time all the same. The Gaze of Nagash goes into the flamethrowers. Isabella knows what the dangerous targets are, and it doesn't look like any of the models get dropped, but they do lose a fair bit of their health. You can see the front line of zombies was pretty easily overwhelmed, but the skeleton's not doing a bad job, and our bats are chasing the Changebringers off the map as quickly as possible. More and more skeletons joining the front lines. Although every single bit of blue fire that hits them is going to do a bunch of damage. And the car-sized bats catch the Changebringers. Changebringers actually will beat them in a melee, but that's they've got enough models that they can lock them down for at least a fair bit of time. Cockatrice has returned and is dueling with both Isabella and our Blood Knights, taking a few of them out as it goes. As long as it actually lands those hits on the Blood Knights, it will be fairly devastating. We're going to have them pull away and start landing some blows to the Zangors, just something that's not quite as chunky. If we can break a few of these models, we can drop leadership for the entire squad. You see the Flamers, rather, are going for the interesting strategy of just running away. I'm not sure exactly why the AI thinks this is the best play, but either they're flanking or just running away, and they're stuck on skirmish mode. Corpse Guard giving them the whip. There's a lot of blue horrors. We've got our own Necromancer in and in the fray, but probably doesn't want to stay there for very long. Just needs to kind of stick around as a commander. See our Graveguard are also finally making it in combat. And when they arrive, the battle is as good as over. A wet smack of cudgel on demonic flesh. One of our corpse cards not having the best time. The normal corpse cards are really just not great. They have the same buff as all the others, but they don't have any of the extra bonuses, so they're really easy to replace. Very cheap, good to get your undead fighting a little bit better in combat, but so we'll show you, they are buffing up our Graveguards, so our Graveguard are up to 31-41 with 8 bonus V large, or bonus V infantry rather, so they're doing pretty well. The more buffs, small buffs we layer, the better. Isabella has finally chased off the big blue chicken and has now locked her eyes on a much more squirrely threat. The Changeling himself, who, if he would have transformed into village, would probably be doing a little bit better here. Gets stabbed by Isabella. I guess he's a much bigger boy than you'd expect, isn't he? For being classified as just like a blue horror. He's just gonna run from Isabella going forward here. The rest of his forces are definitely losing. The Zangors, while they look great and are missing beaks, are easily getting mopped up by Vlad. They turn and run. The demons realize the battle is lost. Everyone starts to hightail it back to the Changer's realm. Victory for Vlad. Alright, very well done, undead. Or, should I say, stalwart sons of Sigmar. All we lost was this Luminarch here. Close the victory. Fighting the forces of Siege is always going to be a rough time. They keep their iridescent horror, their changebringers, lucky you, their cockatrice, and a set of little blue yogurt balls. We will go ahead and return them for some magics. The final trick. Fortunately, playing dead isn't another one of his pranks. Hopefully. That'll give us more chance of stealing items and extra hero action success chance, which is fantastic. Good for us getting more blood kisses. Restless Spirit, Botted Nightmare, and we also get one for taking down the Trickster. We get our Cults and Trolls haven't noticed. Shouldn't cost us much to get rid of this one. Yeah, it does steal our gold, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that immediately. No, thank you. Troll's already looking pretty nice here. Vlad, you could use... Oh man, I wish... That's not an Imperial. We could grab some more Graveguard, though. Graveguard do sound excellent. They're expensive, but they do sound excellent. Before we do, pull the trigger on that, though. Let's go ahead and upgrade Templehof as well. And then we could get Waldenhof a gibbet to make us a little bit more money. Excellent. Then Vlad, you have enough to go ahead and raise up some Graveguard. No knights yet. Which is a shame, but soon. So Vlad, for now, we can just have you raid in the moot. We won't replenish, which is kind of unfortunate. But we'll raid in the moot.
Bring me flesh to craft.
Kevin, you also can raid in the moot, but let's go ahead and send Emmanuel back out.
Moving.
Darkness comes.
To go try to assassinate some of these guys.
Now.
Now? No, not now. Oh, we're making less because we're both raiding the same region.
Everything dies.
Wizard, you're a big old dumb. Does this drop our... No, it doesn't. So we're going to go on out and channel some more instead.
Bring it all to me.
Bring it all to me. Alright, well apparently we had a few more rats slinging around in our territory, so we shall save the world. By putting Talzin down. No more Changebringers for you, sir. We can go ahead and murder these captives, because... Yes, murder them. Must harvest their souls. Channeling staff, excellent. And how is there a single unit still commanding this army? Pickle forth the first.
Bats and wolves gather.
I mean, fair enough. What we are gonna do is go back into
Imperial Scholar.
raiding stance, but we're gonna send you on to kill one of their captains.
Warrior.
Where did your captains go? Manuel, go find them. There you are, Albrecht. There you are. Let's get rid of the witch hunter first.
Slay them!
Show them how little their false Templars
Will serve.
actually mean. Get one more of these ghouls too. We also have a really good opportunity to get involved in the war with Karakadrin and the Bone Rattlers here and be the good guys in that fight, which would keep the dwarves off our back for the foreseeable future. Lich Yard, just more growth. Thorny Orchard gives us more control. Alright, we can actually secure a trade pact with the Celestial Loyalists, although they are about to go away.
No dragon.
This is good because we can trade with the
Only
Cathayans.
I accept.
The other Cathayan factions, hopefully. Last thing we're going to do here is go talk to the False Emperor once more and offer to join him in his war with the Black Pit Horse. Excellent, it pains me to do this. I'm sure it does, however, we'll be good friends in time. Up until I slip this dagger right into your back. Feasting on the small folk of empire within your dominion is needlessly feasting on the peasantry. The Barrow Legion. Now, we don't care about bad relations with the Barrow Legion. Apparently, we have downgraded a good old Kimmler to a she. Take her lands, is what that said. Alright, Vlad, so the plan is, we're going to come up here and start a war with the Greenskins, but with Vlad, because I don't believe Kevin would be able to handle that even a little bit. They're definitely in a war, so we want to stay away from their main armies and let Kadren handle that while we deal with kind of the smaller stuff. Alternatively, we could try to deal with Drycha while her back's turned. She has no wars going on right now, so we would definitely want to wait until she has something going on. Otherwise, we are going to be her main threat, her main target, which we may end up being anyway. We'll see. Alright, so what we're going to do with Kevin is attack the Moot. Their troops are up here and not in position.
Yes, never
Wound.
I shall drink them dry.
You're really bad at this. Got ourselves another possessed mirror, though, which we'll go ahead and give down to Kevin. There we are. Now he can see a bit further. Good stuff. Zombies to the Moot. Who all's at war with you? Just the Changeling? Yeah, I'm not concerned then. To the Moot.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? Well, that's a shame, isn't it? Gives us a close defeat. You're gonna make me fight this battle. Oh, because he gets to be an elector count of Ostermark somehow. 15% resistance. Vigor loss. That's not that big a deal. It's a fight of surround them with zombies, and that's the end. This should be a fun battle. Let's do it. So first here at Drakenhof, we're going to go ahead and pick up the max tier Balefire Gold Smeltery for 600, and also the Gallows to get us as much gold as we can for future upgrades.
King of Darkness.
Yes, I think we actually also want to go all in on our fight against the Empire. There's no reason to limit our units so soon. Evan, let's go ahead and pick up Curse of Undeath. Alright, well our war with Sterland goes well for now. We've got Albrecht hiding out in Wertbad. We're not going to worry about him right now because Manuel finally managed to take out his witch hunter. So he is way weaker and cannot
And destruction.
channel the powers of Sigmar anymore, obviously. And we're going to send Vlad into Needling for a Pyrrhic victory. The Elector Count of Nordland. It's really interesting that every single one of the Imperial factions gets to designate all of their lords as each its own Elector Count. Pretty interesting. He gets Strider and then makes all of his Elector Count state troops cheaper. We burn Needling and we move on towards the capital. Standing across the field from you sons of Sigmar stand the, standing? Yes, indeed. The false heretics. They got a pretty scary army, though, these forces of the Christmas colors. We got spears, we got pistols, we got outriders. They have some means to deal some pretty strong single target damage. Are we concerned? No, we're not. We have Isabella and Vlad. They are a monster duo. Let's meet back when the armies get a bit closer to clashing. Wasn't fast enough to catch the first shot, but Isabella coming on off to the side and blasting in the gaze of Nagash. Such a strong spell that we can just use it to snipe any heroes and lords that might be out there, especially the Empire ones, which do tend to come with around only 3,000 to 4,000 health max. So it only takes around 5 or 6 of the casts to kill them, and it's very worth your wins of magic. So we're gonna keep doing that on cooldown.
Keep your heads down, men! They're casting spells!
Speed up because she's gonna hit him with another one. You can see exactly how much damage we're getting. I like that his health bars go. Where did his health bar go? There we go. A good chunk, about 1/5 of his health each time we hit him, which is incredible. They do not like that, though. They're sending their troops forward, so we're going to keep our lads in this very defensive position in this kind of valley here. We want all of theirs to be fighting uphill if we can force it. But they're still being very cagey themselves. We'll go ahead and speed things up a bit. We get into position around this rock. You can see a lot of their outriders starting to move in on the flanks. This time the gaze of Nagash goes to the outriders and misses, splashing harmlessly against the hillside. Should have kept blasting the Master Engineer there, but I decided I wanted to try to take out a couple of the Pistoliers, and just didn't really work out. We've got Black Knights, so these are the Blood Knights rather, waiting to charge in and hopefully catch the outriders. They can also take quite a bit of damage if they're not careful. These outriders got a little bit too close, unleashing a volley into some harmless zombies, which we're always here for. I don't know why they jumped into melee, but they did, so Vlad can join. We've got the Strigony, or at least the, not the Strigony, what are these guys? The Von Karstein, the Sylvanian crossbows blasting in. If you can't tell, it has been a couple of weeks since actually recording. I've had to come on back in and grab these last 2 battles. I thought I already had them, but either I deleted them by mistake or something else, so we're getting these battles re-recorded here a couple weeks after, so trying to mentally catch up just a smidge as to what's happening. These outriders giving Vlad a hard time. Explosions crash on down. Our crossbows doing pretty good work to any of the outriders to get close, but the AI will realize pretty fast that that's our most dangerous unit for deleting things in the back line, and they'll start shooting at them. We got heated outriders. We got all the way around behind us here, although we have the Grave Guardian on the back flank, so it's not really that advantageous for him. Don't let the zombies bite. Somehow that guy was nowhere near Vlad and got taken out just by the wind effect alone. He's got a moonlight longsword going on here. Get the Blood Knights running down outriders in the back, avoiding shots from the Free Company militia where possible. We're very glad to have the Sylvanian crossbows, especially since we don't have access to our, or at least by our own design, don't have access to our wolves and bats that you would just normally use to flutter right over on the top or circle and deal with the likes of the crossbows. Outriders are out of here. We've got a couple of crossbows in the back line, but Isabella has locked blades with this Master Engineer, which pretty easily spells his doom. Not even gonna spell a drop from this chalice as she proceeds to bust this poor man's chops. Gets stabbed a couple times, just mainly being tired is what's hurting there. Some of our zombies starting to get a little bit low, but the Grave Guard keeping the swordsman at bay with those halberds. And the others pursuing back here just to try to disrupt the gunnery crew and crossbows a bit. Vlad leading the charge. Isabella has easily slain this general. One more good swing. If she could actually lock contact, down he goes. He needs a hand as well, that's too bad. Another stunning defeat for... I guess they don't look Christmas on the battlefield, but they have the Christmas colors out everywhere else. Went about as well as we could have hoped for. Graveguard did fantastic, Vlad did fantastic, Isabella took down a hero, or a lord, I guess, as she is going to be doing it for this entire... Isabella is going to be our main character assassin. It's going to be great. He'll be slinging all the slander. We are just going to go ahead and sack Needling. We want to lure more of the Imperials in to die, of course. We've got the Königstein Stalkers. Although most undead are no more than stumbling thralls, these warriors have achieved renown due to their effectiveness in melee. And Isabella's up on a Hellsteed, so no one can get away from her whatsoever. We'll go into channeling and then just kind of walk
I am going.
back towards our territory just a bit, but not all the way, because Albrecht here can't reach us, and if he wants to go over to Needling to protect it, that sounds fine. We'll just go ahead and secure ourselves another blood kiss. Skills for Vlad and the ladies, though, so let's go ahead and give him another point into Undying Horde. This is so dang useful. Mortal Horror gives him 50% more healing cap. Well, that's the way. We're up to 100% more healing cap as long as he's with Isabella. And then Isabella, we can go ahead and give you the Wind of Death to clear off any groups of enemies that want to get a little bit too touchy-feely. We can grab Master of the Dead Tier 2 for our Necromancer here. Extra targeting range for Raised Dead. Extra effect range for Master of the Dead. All sorts of good stuff. We'll go ahead and give him the actual Raised Dead ability. Incredible. That many people died in Needling. What do we get? No, it's kind of a slightly misleading. We need more people to come here and add themselves to the Boneyard then. Then we'll finally go ahead and put in the Mausoleum of the Mad Count, and as long as we have the cash, we can also... No, we don't. So maybe we'll have to find another battle or wait a couple turns. Fine by me. Man, you know what's unfortunate about not watching where you're going? You run right into some Sylvanian vampires. I mean, the true Emperor. And get crushed. And then murdered for your troubles. And then we have a spy. Well, you know what we do with spies. Well, new turn means new skills, so we'll go ahead and give Vlad Lightning Strike, so that way when we're fighting multiple armies, it is more of a curse for them than a good thing. For Isabella, we shall give her Wind of Death. And then Luther is going to become better at raising the dead. Yes, great. And then we got something that sounds pretty cool. The Rod of Flaming Death gives you fire attacks, extra damage, fire resistance, and the bound spell Fireball. So, and Vlad's nice and scary. He already was, but now even more so. Look at Asher. We're gonna go ahead and give that to Isabella. Then you can have the Forbidden Rod. So if we have to sacrifice anyone, it should be Luther. Luther, the Noseless. And as the turn falls again to us, blood is power. As the industry of undeath grows, so too do the dwellings of its dark lords. It is blood that drives this dread economy. Extra growth. Manuel has a Barded Nightmare, and now with the landmark in Sylvania, we can go ahead and set up and get a few more vampires. Here in Trollshaven, they cost 345 to recruit. We have no death mages, so we'll go ahead and grab one that is a... Let's go Perceptive. Madeline the Perceptive and... Eileen. No, we don't actually have any excess anymore, so Madeline it is. She thirsts. Let's give her Spirit Leech, Life Leeching, and then upgrade Spirit Leech. And then we'll grab Soul Blight to drop armor, always useful.
Undeath Ascendant.
Always useful. The point in a wound, that way we have a higher chance of getting that done and gathering up more blood kisses. I'd like to save until we get another Von Karstein, or we could just go for a Necrarch for the research rate. Will we ever actually utilize them? No, we'll probably just wake them up and keep them in there. They're coughing forever, so sorry, Bat Boy. We'll wake you up, but we're only going to use you for your research rate. Next, we are going to go through and grab Raise Newly Dead. And then where to after that? Recruitment cost for zombies. I don't really care about the zombies, although that's pretty incredible. We're more worried about the leader undead, or the more elite undead, which would be down here to the Defiler of the Ancient Barrows. So let's go this way. Risen Standard Bearers isn't bad. We'll go away. Raise Newly Dead into Risen Standard Bearers. Extra melee defense, always good.
Bow! If you think it is wise.
Vlad shall then claim Needling under our Dark Empire. Quick and easy. We get an Obsidian Blade too. How awesome. We'll go ahead and simply occupy. Obsidian Blade for Vlad works. Get us a bit of extra dark magic for completing a quest, and then we can try to find us a hero to take down.
Right.
Marius is traveling alone, so let's go see who else is in Aberheim. Excellent chuckle. And now for the part that I was the most concerned with, War with Elspeth. Prepare us. I was wanting to get a few more units of Sylvanian crossbows, and we needed some more knights too, because we're going to be fighting nothing but outriders. If that ends up being the case, I might end up having to slightly change our rule, because some of these other Imperial provinces are known for using warhounds. So we're going to just do the same with our direwolves. And like that, we can now newly raise some stronger dead. Higher chance for our dead to come back once they have been destroyed after battle, and higher speed for our zombies. A single word boon spoken during the ritual will harden the skin of corpses as they jerk back to life. Bro, it looks like he's ready to start fighting now.
Thirsts for war.
Does it now? What if I can convince you that war is what you want to do? Does he have any heroes? He's all by himself. And that makes winning that battle really easy. He just needs to come after Dragonhof and not Schwarzhofen like he definitely will.
I hunt.
Manuel, you go after
I
Carol here.
thirst.
Slay.
I shall drink them dry.
That's a blood kiss.
All shall know me and tremble.
Vlad can march on, but bad.
Perish!
Easy win. We claim this, and then we reposition to see how Elspeth's coming at us.
Love eternal.
Enemy wizard slaughtered. It is against Sigmar's teaching. Here you
It shall be done.
And like that, we're moving to our second Imperial province. Yes, quite. That is Sterland for the most part claimed. We just have to kick the rebels out of Flensburg, which should be no problem.
Ascendant.
We then pick up the Mortal Levies, a combination of madness, desperation, and an iron stomach to be levied alongside the living dead. Gives us more range, missile strength for Sylvanian crossbows, as well as more relations with the Empire. How useful.
Bow
Alright, the time is now to re-up on Vlad's troops. After slaughtering the majority of the people of Wertbad here, we now have some better options, like Great Weapon Graveguard and a couple of Knights. So we don't have any Blood Knights, we can pick up the Black Knights. I don't really like the Lance version. I can't lie. So we're just going to go ahead and grab the normals. And then Hex Wraiths don't actually count as troops that are Imperials, that no one quite knows where the Hex Wraiths come from. Just that you bind them when they show up, and then you make them work for you or else. So we're not going to utilize them. These Graveguard with great weapons, though, are kind of intriguing. Hey, you know what? We're just gonna grab the other Black Knights. Already picked up a Unholy Lodestone, so we can do some more healing. So 1 Unholy Lodestone, 1 Balefire, and then as soon as this Necromancer gets upgraded enough, he should be able to have one as well. The Great Weapon Graveguard. Let's go ahead and grab one. So Vlad's army is nice and spooky. We are just missing one. We can replace that with Emmanuel in a hurry.
Borders.
Excellent. So expand Sylvania's borders.
Darkness.
Oh, like the Witch Hunters have made an incursion at the moot, so negative 40. There's not gonna be any vampires there after they're done. Fair enough. Do what you need to. Rooster Cult has been destroyed in Wordbad, and then Vlad. We're gonna have you march on Errol's forces here, who is actually bringing some proper guns now. Let's see with Madeline where Elspeth is hiding.
Ascendant. Then go.
Yeah, let's move on into her territory. Let's find Elspeth. Ah, they're sneaking across this way, or at least Adolphus is. She tends to smash right through the south and get into the Badlands fairly quickly, so we'll see.
You dare.
Coming up on around to try to find Elspeth there. Here's Bin.
Unworkable.
2 whole armies, but no Elspeth. Never a good sign.
All shall
We'll go ahead and march on
tremble.
Flensburg.
Vlad von
The addition
Dark
of this vampiress should be more than enough. You know what? Let's go ahead and break the siege. These have enough. And we'll instead send her in to try to kill the unit to get a
I
blood kiss.
thirst.
Oh, 0% chance. Okay then. Well, you gotta die the old-fashioned way, sir.
Shed their blood.
I
Send
hunt
their blood.
by all means.
Alright, now Vlad's ultimate ability, at least I would say, is up and online. Covenant of Undeath, where we are getting extra experience in everyone in this province, and also faction-wide. So these do stack. If you have someone in his province, they're getting both of these bonuses. So we're going to start grabbing up another army of just probably nothing but zombies to follow him around. That lord will get to level up, and we'll have ourselves a squad of chaff to throw in, and Vlad's squad can mop up after.
The world will drown.
The Ravening Beast, we'll go ahead and give Isabella. Yeah, it's kind of sad that until you guys tell me that dire wolves and bats are actually included in the Dark Empire, they shall not be. Skeleton zombies and other kind of humanoids only. Let's see here. Storm of the Night is good if they have any flyers. We're going to go ahead and grab a Ravening Beast. All characters shall have a cooldown reduction to Red Fury and Bloodlust, and our army shall be able to fight for longer without getting tired.
The von Garstein.
Evasion for our Necromancer, and the Hunger for our secondary vampire. Oh, and luckily for us, our first engagement with Whistling and Nuln does not go their way because they're in march stance. So Vlad, we'll just let you walk on over here and wipe them out with our true Empire troopers.
Annihilate.
Yoink. That's that. We lose a fair few, so we'll go ahead and... Ooh, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and return those captives. There's a lot of gold. The money we need to fuel our burgeoning empire. Yeah, we have claimed Sylvania and Sterland. We're well on our way to becoming Empire of all. And after that win, we pick up enough skill points to grab monster strength here. So Vlad will now, from now on, have sundering attacks. The entire army shall have 5 more base weapon damage, and then 10% total weapon strength. So I'll show you. Graveguard, for example, these guys that are fully intact, shall go from 29 attack, 40 defense, and 10... Yeah, that's exactly what that says, 10. 40 weapon strength, to...
I am unstoppable.
49. So it was only a weapon strength bonus. And that's fair enough. It's just more damage overall. We'll go even better for the likes of our Blood Knights and Black Knights. Anything with very high weapon strength benefits even more from those kind of percentage buffs. Although Graveguard have pretty good stats already. Alright, we return to declare war on Averland. Time to annex another province. We declare war, of course, and we'll allow Vlad to surround them. We're definitely not just going to go ahead and let unresolved lose our entire army. Souls or no.
Bats and wolves, gather.
Heaven cannot quite make it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and march on this bridge. I guess into the moot so we're not taking any attrition. And then we'll just allow Vlad to march in and tear this settlement asunder. We will begin this in the next episode, in the final for this kind of two-part series here. First part, we have made a good headway conquering through Sterland and starting our fight with Elspeth von Draken. As soon as she's down, it's really not much of a fight to conquer the rest of the Empire, so she is pretty much our main goal. Once Nuln is conquered, it's a short matter to get the rest of these settlements mopped up and on to holding the line against or pushing out the forces of destruction that might still remain there. Thanks all for stopping on by the very first chapter in our We Are the Empire campaign. If you enjoyed, please remember to leave a like for the like god and a sub for the sub though, and I'll see you all in the next one. And I thought for a bit of a change of pace, we would all meet here on the battlefield. So you can see the Empire already starting to blast in. Vlad is going to charge on this gatehouse, send both Isabella and Emmanuel to go hunt down these mortar teams, and after that, man, we'll see what the enemy's got for us. Probably don't want the Necromancer to move in from here, but these two Graveguard absolutely can, and then we'll have the Corpse Guard do the same. Blood Knights, I'm going to send them in to the gates, and then the Black Knights can do the same on this other gatehouse. Glorious Necromancer, you come on up on this side. Probably didn't need both of the ladies going after the same, so let's go ahead and have you turn around, Emmanuel, and just start clearing those handgunners off the walls. Should be no problem dealing with Marius and the mortar crews. In fact, if we drop off some undead... Oh, we can't because we're not through the walls yet. Interesting. Zombies are moving in to help. Let's go ahead and have some of them take the walls. Numbral Pendulum should be excellent here in a little bit. Not yet, though. How did Marius actually come over to fight? That's such a bad idea. And then if we need to, she gets surrounded too far, we can go ahead and use the Wind of Death to get everyone here all at once. Alright, then bring up the rest of the troops. Brawl, suppose you take this position, start clearing the walls of any opposition. Surpass Nagash. And we have this lovely Penumbral Pendulum spell that can get rid of a few units all at once, especially when they're all nicely clumped up like this.
We are the new order.
The guillotine drops.
Vampire.
Get those gates flooded. Isabella is surrounded, but it just doesn't matter. Oh, now you can summon people. Interesting. Who knows why? Zombies take the walls. Crossbows here in guard mode. We'll have those two Graveguard hit the walls as well. Kind of looks like they've decided to let our guys in. Bold strategy. Completely surrounded but doing fine. These zombies can easily maul them some mortars. Do they have worse combat stats? Oh yeah, but there's way more of them. Ward's been going through, allowing us to focus Marius, getting rid of this poor unfortunate elector count here. Bring up the rest of the troops, and then we'll have the zombies go filing up on this side too. Deploy the ladders, lads. Try to take out those archers if possible, and then the Necromancer can just kind of come back. They haven't used that much of their ammo, so that's fantastic. Sort of take a little bit of damage. We can go ahead and pump the Potion of Toughness. It's not a bad idea. Get an Overcast Penumbral, and not quite. So we'll save for it. Zombies surround here next. We'll go ahead and get Isabella back up in the air. And now you poor fools get the Overcasted Wind of Death. You should have left when you had the chance. That unit's gone, that one as well. Yikes. We missed a little bit, but we still blended through several of the Sigmar's false sons. Let's get Isabella back up in the air. Other vampires having a little bit of trouble. Crush the breathers. Isabella descends from the skies, and that is a failed. Elector Count, his city soon to fall. Yes, the men of women and men of women. Yes, the men of Averheim shall make fantastic servants. That is another Elector Count's capital claimed for the true Emperor. Our Graveguard putting in some serious work, just the armor and bonus V infantry doing enough. They don't have great combat stats yet, but they soon shall. The next piece of our puzzle, though, getting the time of rising. These two, not as exciting, but the discouraged effect here, -16 leadership, we can layer up with so many other kind of leadership debuffs. This is going to get nasty. And what do you know, we do take the last city in Everland. That is yet another Elector Count. Fallen to the true Emperor. Yes, our empire grows. Well done, Vlad. We got ourselves another unholy lodestone so we can heal up all of our line with 2 of our units now. And we also have found the Nemesis Crown, which can only be good things for the undead here. As the Emperor, we need ourselves a lovely crown, so we're going to go ahead and claim that. And we've got our Rotten Gift finally, so our zombies will have 20% physical resistance, making them nice and tanky in the face of all of this. We've got 3 armies that are kind of shit up out of nowhere, so we'll see if we can crack through or if we need to pull back and let them come to us. That's a lot of guns. We need plenty of cavalry to make sure we can clean that up. Good news is, though, our vampires are very, very good at dealing with threats, so Theodore is going to have to sit on the bench for a little bit longer. Thank you, Madeline. We also get a blood kiss for it. How excellent. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and have the Von Draken family pull back into the outskirts of Averheim and let our foes foolishly flock back to us. Alright, it's also time to put a little bit of 4D chess, so we are going to take Vlad and come on up into the mountains here and attack Miguel Vongelbarak. But first, we should actually have enough troops to take on his quest battle, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Thinking Blood Drinker should be no trouble, but how about the Von Karstein Ring? We're gonna overwhelm these guys easily. Let's go ahead and pick that up first, then, if it's that much of a stomping. Gives us 60% ward save, 15% physical resistance. Yeah, you can't touch Vlad. And if you do, he'll be back in no time. Well, those 2 blood kisses. Excellent. The Karstein Ring has returned to its master in Unlife, one smaller. However, it's dull and ugly, so we need to get in there and stab some folks, abuse it with blood, and power it up. Let's do it.
Mine puppets! Do me this deed. Purge the area of insects, so thy master can collect this warpstone unchallenged. Ha! If my memory serves, then I sought out such material in Mordheim some centuries ago. Halcyon days, when my minions hunted Wieldstone, and the Empire was in ruins, as it will be again. Fetch me the head of this Strigoi! I would have this nuisance quashed!
Love eternal! We are immortal! For Vlad! I am immortal! Isabella von Karstein! Oh!
You know, Vlad and Isabella with a steel chair, and that is a Strigoi crunched. He is down to just running away. Nice and simple. That's our ring empowered. Alright, that's our extra beefed up ring and some extra replenishment, all acquired. we can then go ahead and just re-recruit those zombies we lost there in that battle. Ancestral ring set with a gem of deep sanguine claret. Indeed. We'll grab ourselves some zombies and we march. On Amygdal Vungelbarak. Should be a nice and easy win for us. We lose one down to 69, that's the proper number of graveyard anyway. We shall then loot and occupy. And if we can go ahead and sell this settlement to the greenskins here... Oh, I can't. It had to be Grinstast, which I really don't want to do. Okay, fair enough. We may just end up getting rid of Mingo Vungelbarak then. Just won't worry about upgrading it. We're just taking settlements from... taking settlements from Whistleland and Nuln and making them make a decision here. They've got 2 armies that can go after Averheim. Or they can send all 3 of them. Not possible.
No. No.
Yeah, 2 of those armies could reach. We'll see, won't we? And why Queen Bee is so effective is who's queen? That's right. Now prostrate yourself before me, Worm. This is great because all of our heroes will have a 50% chance to actually succeed, higher chance rather it is to succeed in their assassinations. Which means more and more blood kisses, so we will send them out now that Isabella's in the same province. Or as long as she's in the same province as them. For Vlad, we're just continuing to work down towards Uncanny Prescience, so we can get some more Winds of Magic and some upkeep. And then, we can finally start upgrading our Graveguard and making them nice and scary. There were just a few things to do in the meantime. Next, we make our skeletons much cheaper and stronger with Bond of Bones, giving them cheaper recruitment cost and raised dead cost. And then grave gifts for even less upkeep and some armor. We'll get into the Defiler of Ancient Barrows to give them perfect vigor, and we can have full squads of skeletal warriors. They are going to end up probably being our main chaff over the zombies, which is incredible. We can pick and choose depending on what our economy will allow here. Good, Vlad sprouts 2 more arms and a deep hatred of Kenobi. Weird how that works. Extra control, looks like they're going to blitz in towards Averland. So we've got Marcus here, and now Elspeth makes herself known.
You touch death.
That's fair, lass, that's fair. What if we just kind of move through the mountains, though, and take your things? We could have Kevin deal with Ben, no problem.
Soon I'll be all-powerful.
Madeline come back and deal with Carol. Oh, we don't have the goal. Oh, and you also cannot assassinate anyone because you have too low a chance.
Darkness comes.
Are there any armies over here that are going to try to ambush us? I don't think any of them could have.
Move.
Elspeth's evil cousin Kevin manages to capture Ben on his, I guess, river cruise. Doesn't go so well. We can take our Pyrrhic victory. Nice and simple. We can resurrect those that fall. It's one of the great things about being undead. And what do you know, Madeline being in the same province as good old Isabella does work out for us. We take out Nud, the warrior priest, and Elspeth here is hanging out in Steinkart. Yeah, she's got some foot soldiers to kind of hold the line for her, but these guys are fairly trash, all things considered. It's going to be a walled settlement battle.
The von Garstein.
I think we can take Elspeth.
Bats and wolves gather.
We will have Kevin come on over.
You will be rewarded.
Channeling towards Averheim.
Move us. King of Darkness.
Did Vlad come here? Anything else? No, and I don't think we really need to.
It is night.
Well, yes.
Thirst.
Elspeth is scary. She's at a pretty distinct disadvantage here.
Yes.
Plus,
Bring them.
we've got the extra bloodlines. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock another of the Von Karstein so we can get some more crossbowmen. Wakey wakey. Time to butcher Whistleland.
Destruction.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait, so we won't get crossbows just yet, but we can march into this town and slowly and steadily... Oh, hang on now. You're gonna let me take him down? Sorry, Elspeth. All I have to sacrifice is zombies. I'm gonna take that every time. Yup. We will then go ahead and loot and occupy for a fair bit of replenishment. Rose by any other name. Despite her powerful command of Shaish, the Graveyard Rose has finally earned the name, following her decisive defeat. If we had some artillery, we'd get more explosive missile damage and explosion radius, so I say we try to make some friends with some ogres. That way we can actually get some artillery and pretend to be the Empire, or we can maybe subjugate some of these other Imperial factions here without fully killing them. Then we can use their soldiers in our own armies. Seems pretty good. 1 point into Unliving Host gives all of our Graveguard skeletons, crypt ghouls, and zombies 4 additional melee attacks, so we are looking at, for the elites at least, 36-43. For these guys, 31-42, and for our zombies, a measly 11. Unless they're the tie, then they get 12. How exciting. Oh yes, we also have these great weapon ones with 35. Seems like they have equal attack to the other variant. Interesting. How much of a bonus do you guys get? 13 as opposed to 8. So your normal Graveguard are pretty decent at ripping through infantry. They shall of course get better. And surprise, surprise, the dwarves of Karazakarak lose to creeping death. That is a... excuse me.
War boss in it!
A war boss in it. Speaking, this dark magic mantra will bring forth yet more skeletal remains, making them much cheaper to raise from the dead.
I hunt.
Yeah, so if we wish we get in here, and they cost us 211 now, which is not bad at all. I think it went from 300 to 211, which is, it's a fair reduction.
You need help?
Not sure what you're up to. This army is spooky.
Right.
We just needed one more. If we had an additional force here, we would be able to run them over, no problem. We might be able to recruit one up in Essen. And since they're in March, they can't run anyway. Maybe something we go for. Still gonna keep trying to take down this. Oh, he's got no chance to succeed. Because Isabella's not around. Madeline. 14%, really.
Yes.
If we bring someone else down. See, that's what we like to see. Your hero's effects, base chance, 30%, and then... where is the Queen Bee effect? Where it's 50% additional. Maybe it's in the background? Blood Kiss.
You will fail.
Who's failing? You will.
All shall know me.
Alright, Madeline, your turn. You try as well. 0% chance now because he's a champion.
I hunt.
Arrow also super good at not getting taken out.
Yes.
And we'll come on through here to see what's behind then. I don't know. No need to damage anything here.
It will be done. Yes, Neferata was right.
Alright, so we've got another army set up in the mountains here. Not possible. That's what you think.
Drown in blood. I knew the way.
Not taking out the Celestial Wizard is a bit unfortunate. But we can reach Fyldorf, and there's nothing they can do about it. So... I think Wisland is falling here. Too bad for you guys.
I want their souls.
Stalin's capital is the next to fall to Vlad. I think this time we're gonna go ahead and just sack the settlement. Bring that gold back to Drakenhof Castle, and use it to upgrade things. Then we can slip into Channeling, replenish, and move away from all these armies.
Can't.
How incredible. You can't catch Vlad. And with that skill point, we'll go ahead and grab another point into Unliving Host. We're up to 6 attack and 4 defense. Taking a quick look at our most elites. These Graveguard here, they're at 38-47. 33-47, and our zombies, 13-17, of course. They're great. Alright, with that ill-gotten gains, Drakenhof can go up to the Accursed City, which is just glorious. We're throwing corpse balls over the towers now. That's what you like to see. We also have Shifty here, which I think we can take this army. And that would get us in good standing with Karak Kadrin, although then we're going to have the full might of the Bone Rattlers crashing down on us. So you know what we're going to do instead? Is just tell them to leave.
Ready for bossing.
Ready for bossing. Good news is we also found... Find my... Here we go, Kevin. We've got access to more Blood Knights. We've got some Lance variant of Blood Knights and Lance Black Knights as well. Pick up those Blood Knights, and then we'll also snag... let's go for some more Halberdiers. Yes. Halberdiers will lock them in place, and Blood Knights to run them over. Now those Blood Knights can go join up with Vlad, like so. Switch the Blood Knights over, we'll go ahead and pick up... let's go ahead and get rid of all of the normal zombies. Or maybe just 2 of them. 2 of the normal zombies, and then we'll go ahead and send the Graveguard over as well. And we'll pick up 3 Black Knights. 3 Black Knights sounds good. What's that, one too many? Oh yeah, we're getting the Blood Knights too. There we go. Does Kevin lose a little bit of his punch? Sure.
King of Darkness.
Oh, I sent these zombies over. Let's get rid of them, and we'll bring it instead. We get the civilian crossbows. That's perfect. Can Vlad just do that, though?
What?
Yes, that's what we're gonna do. Also kick these zombies out.
All shall know me.
Swap the tithe over to Kevin.
Vlad von
There's our secondary crew of Sylvanian crossbows. Excellent. We can also raise in, I don't know, just a squad of... Let's go spears, since they actually have shields. And we'll wake up another von Karstein and have them defend Castle Templehof in case of any troubles. We'll leave them there, and they'll just kind of be in charge of keeping the place nice and intact. Public order-wise. The gods are angry. Yes, Nagash is always angry, so be it. We're not going to worry about that in the slightest. Looks like Shifty's going to take a little bit of a detour through Zufbar's territory. Huh. We'll see how that plays out for him. Alright, well, since we have so many scary enemies around us building up armies, the only thing really to do is going to be to pick one and catch them in an ambush. So we're going to go into a set ambush stance over here. 70% in this forest, so that's what we're going to set up. And we'll just have Kevin sack Valdorf again. Yeah, we've got 2 sets of armies in here. These have some battle wagons, which we can easily deal with. So Kevin's squad. Oh, hang on, let's see if the White King can kill. Well, take down Valdorf first. Get the experience. Oh, we can't because of siege equipment. That's a little bit annoying. That's fine, actually. Let's go ahead and... That might convince him to come on over. So we'll go ahead and go ram a couple towers, and we will set up. White King, you leave. Never mind, we don't have the gold. We're broke. We've assassinated quite a few though this turn, so if you show you here, that is 4 blood kisses in 1 turn, so absolutely. We drop in, and we're gonna wake up one of the blood dragons. Extra weapon strength for all of our cavalry. I'll show you those stats now. They go from weak cavalry with 51 weapon strength, or 59 if you're a blood dragon. Only 59 of the blood dragons. That's kinda sad. Well, either way, we can buff it up with the blood dragons themselves, so we'll wake up this beautiful bald boy, his crimson armor. And like that, cavalry goes up to 66 strength, 58. Nice. Can't wait till we get to both kinds of blood knights. Then people are gonna suffer for real. For real. Well, it worked. We brought Whistland in, but for some reason, it's only 1 army. And we'll still take this auto-resolve because all we lose is crypt ghouls and zombies. And it looks like one of the crypt ghouls and both the zombies come back from the dead. What do you know about that? The dead rise again. It's a whole boogie. We'll just go ahead and occupy.
I have no time for such filth.
Alright, I think the time is now to jump in on the side of Ungrim and see if we can't save his life. He's... Oh good, Grimgor's already moving across the Badlands. That's not great. Or I guess the Darklands, rather. Yeah, we'll join your war against the Bone Rattlers, and you shall give me cash. I ask thirst for blood, good thing we don't have any. Thank goodness we don't have any. We can send not Manfred in. In fact, I think we should also get you a proper name, Wolfric. You are also... I will win in the end. Not Manfred the second.
What do you want?
Well, we'll go ahead and chase down Shifty. We should have more than enough to have to fight this battle ourselves. Yeah, in a pure victory we only lose skeletons. Sounds good to me. Undead, the auto-resolve simulator. Return those captives? I think so. They're also the kind return those that survived. The faction. And while we didn't see anyone with this hero here, there's no telling if there's an army of Elspeths hiding somewhere to ambush, and if not, I mean, we're just gonna march right on in. I think if they ambush us, they're gonna have a worse time than if not. There's no ambush going on here. This is a Pyrrhic victory. I think that's no problem, so we crunch them. Got a cure to fall so we can worry about these armies up here. Everything's coming up, Vlad. So interestingly enough, upon victory there, we picked up this Helm of Draiska. To those who don the Helm of Draiska comes untold power, yet a sorry fate also awaits. So we'll have a 2% chance for this character to gain a powerful unique trait upon ending a turn, but also a 1% chance of that character just dying upon ending the turn. 20 more armor, immunity, contact effects, unbreakable, and expert charge defense makes for a very powerful helm. But if you die, you also have a 10 additional wound recovery time, which is brutal. So we'll go ahead and give this over to probably one of our heroes and see if we can't convince them to become better or die trying. We've also got the Sternsman, incredible Graveguard. Only the basic memory survives to fight in better than their other undead cohorts in glorious black plate armor. And Varix Reavers too. Listen, we're starting to... everything's coming together for Vlad now. In fact, Varix Reavers are so good, we're gonna go ahead and pick them up now. What these guys have going for them is they regenerate. Yes, regenerative Black Knights. They also have Striders, so they don't have to worry about any kind of penalties from running around in the kind of forest or anything like that. Actually, all of your Black Knights have Strider. Completely missed that. So your Knights fight in the forest very well. Good to know. Alright, the first lad who's going to try to don the Helm of Draiska is going to be our White King. Mr. Posner? Put on this helmet, it's good for you, I promise.
What? Bow before me.
We also have got the final point into Unliving Host. We've got 8 melee attack and defense for zombies, skellies, crypt ghouls, and graveguards. So, doing a quick look over. 40-51, which is very substantial now. 35-51, which is very good on the defense side. Our Skeletal Spearmen really not going to be incredible until we get some more kind of stacking buffs. And then we can start working on our Knights next. Alright, it's also time to wake up one of the Lamians, that way all of our characters can level up a little bit faster. Yes. Then actually, if we look at all of our Bloodline Lords, we've got Roland, the Darkly Majestic, and Adet, the Strategist, which makes sense. I think in terms of just pure stats, the Blood Dragons are the strongest, so we'll bring in Roland next time we need a Lord. Alright, with the Grave Gifts distributed, now our skeletons are going to be a little bit cheaper and she'll have chunkier armor. Thank goodness the gifts involve arm guards, trading dummies, 15 melee attack he forgets very quickly about the training dummies, doesn't he?
You dare. I thirst.
Sure enough. It looks like the Imperials turn and flee from us. Oh, one of them's going to go and try to attack Averheim. Fair enough. Kevin, I'm going to go send you to defend Averheim. Actually, they may go after Flensburg. Just take out one of our smaller settlements.
Soon I'll be.
You go ahead and go into March. Go to Averheim, you can defend there. And Vlad, I will allow to march further into Imperial territory. We can actually continue to be a pain, too, by just coming in and sacking Wissenberg and then going into an ambush. So we'll surround Wissenberg. Now that we're in this province, it should hopefully buff up their abilities to assassinate. Let's see. 5%. I still want to get you back over and joining with Kevin, so you get on your way. We'll have Madeline do the assassination. Wound Bruckner.
Never.
Or not. Let's go ahead and beeline just straight for the Dread Animator here, that way we can drop our upkeep on our Graveguard and our Black Knights a little bit further. Also buffing up everything by 4 melee attack, 10% weapon strength for the Graveguard and Knights, and finally getting us that upkeep. And good news for us, Drakenhof reaches rank 4, so we can come on in and pick up a Vampire Crypt. Get us a little bit of gold, bit of control, and then the Vampire's Keep gives us the Blood Knights with Sworded Board who have Frenzy, and it's 16 bonus for infantry. These guys are incredible at ripping through infantry, either elite or non. So we're very good to have. We're very glad rather to have them. And now we wake the dead to make our Blood Knights and Black Knights a bit stronger. So 4 more melee attack puts them up to 45, 42, and 41 depending. Excellent. We are going to become so strong so quick. Alright, well naturally if good old Elspeth's just going to sit here and hide in a Dolternbach, we are then going to 68%. Daddy, are you going to sit this battle out on the bench? He's not. You refuse.
Yes, my lord.
Well, you go get Jovi. That's a 41% chance. Wounded. Hates men. That sounds about right. And she's a lore keeper. Extra chance to wound fools, or she has a lore keeper, rather, traveling with her. Since we've removed her from our army, we may just grab ourselves some zombies to keep the troops intact. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into March. And we're going to go pick up the Nemesis Ground dig site next turn. I'm going to have Kevin march on back here towards Averheim. Towards this bridge, actually. Vlad can pick up the Nemesis Crown, and then we can really start cooking. Very short hop, skip, and a jump over to Reichland. And interestingly enough, we've got a non-aggression pact and a trade agreement with Ostermark. So the kind of more Mongolian-themed Imperials are siding with Vlad. Interesting. The Wargrove of Woe meets its end, which means the Empire could decide... Oh man, actually, what was funny is Crooked Moon was beating the Ironclaw Works in that in whatever war was going on over there, where they just claimed Ockendorf. But then, obviously, Gorbad just rolled around and took out Skarsnik, and that was the end for Crooked Moon. So this is easily the scariest faction in the area right now. Who are you at war with? Maybe try to make friends with you?
Before I wring your neck.
Nah, no squeaking. We'll be down there to deal with you orcs in a moment. Hopefully never if we don't have to. Right, well, Elspeth put herself in a very bad position, but we are going to avoid her to go pick up the Nemesis Crown. Before we leave, though, we've got some Blood Knights, that's the way. Really move across. Sorted more Blood Knights have been added in, and we have now ambushed Gorfag One Finger, which... What an interesting name. This crown belongs to me, sir. Yoink. We'll just swipe that, thanks. And then we'll return them, too. Because Vlad is a benevolent emperor. And of course, we take the crown, because why wouldn't we? What does this give us? Winds of Magic, cost reduction for all of our spells, more health, weapon strength, missile strength, and then the crown. This is actually not great. The weapon strength is nice though, so we're gonna go for this, but oh, I lied. We shall seal it the first time. Replenishment's so good. And when it doesn't actually give you that decent of a unique trait, it is actually better to seal it. That way you can heal as you move around. Lets you get a lot more momentum going. So Vlad here, for example, we'll have him channel, and we can go attack Nuln next turn. Meanwhile, Kevin doesn't even need to do anything. Just come back over here to Averheim. And see what Elspeth wants to go for. We'll try to wound Teddy. He's down, he's sitting on the bench again, so she's not as scary as she would be. Teddy's ultimate detonation explosion we haven't had to see so far. Thank goodness. A little bit more fervor for Emmanuel.
King of Darkness.
Another point into Waking Dead gives them 6 more armor and 6 more melee attacks, so for all of our knights, we are up to 116 armor, 47 and 52. 43, 55 for our normal Blood Knights. Fedex Reavers looking pretty nice here. 44, 36. They aren't defending themselves, but they do deliver some pretty heavy punches. With our Blood Kisses, we'll go ahead and awaken the Strigoi. That way we can get better at ambushing. Do we care so much about the Grip Ghouls? No, but this 20% more ambitious chance for all of our armies is insanely good. And as our Risen Champions technology finishes up, our Zombie Skellies and Skelly Spearmen are even stronger. We don't have any men in this army except for this guy here, so he's up to 28. Good for our chaff, actually. The closer they get to normal Imperials, the more and more oppressive that is, just because there are not 160 Imperials in a normal frontline force.
I see wisdom.
There are normally 120 Imperials, which means you're going to always be overwhelming them with sheer numbers. They cannot win that duel. Also, Elspeth started to claim Fildorf, which, that's all good and well, but we are now going to take Nuln from you, so was it worth it? No, I don't think so. We'll bring Vlad on in, that way Isabella can buff up her assassination capabilities, and we'll go ahead and get rid of this engineer.
Kill. Expand.
There it is, another blood kiss for us.
Undeath Ascendant.
Give her even better chance to wound, and we may even have this Necromancer come out to try to take out the other one. That's an 81% chance. Success, another kiss, and we can have Vlad go and finish off the defenders of Nuln easily.
All shall
The Pyrrhic victory. Oh, they've got a Hellblaster volley gun. How exciting. Well, this will be one that I will meet you all on the field of battle for. Stalwart Sons of the Empire, time to bring down the gunnery school. The heretic gunnery school. Alright, we're set up for battle. One of the really cool things about Vlad is you can just stick him all the way up front here, same with Isabella, and you can just say go and have him go over the walls. The guns blast, we're not worried. Spearmen take the brunt of it, which is exactly what I wanted. A lot of damage on Isabella, but she can absorb that just fine, especially with her blood chalice here. So we land. That's all the damage you're gonna get. Hopefully it was worth it. Send in our cavalry on either side here. Crossbowmen start thinning up the troops on the walls. Form a ring of steel. That overcast wind of death, as you'll see here, is insane. That's 2 units, 3, 4, and a 5th one almost taken out with 1 cast. Graveguard and spearmen storming the walls, and like that, Nuln's defenses are no more. Once you get Vlad up on the walls, there's really nothing they can do about it.
It is done.
And now that our knights have arrived, we can pretty easily mop up the rest of these 4 Imperials here in Nuln. Did we take some damage? Oh, sure. Very worth it, though. That's the capital of Nuln defeated. And like that, the false empire no longer has their gun school. Fantastic. 10,000 gold a second. We're gonna go ahead and just loot and occupy, though. We claim it from them. And here we can get access to the Bloodkeep. Ancestral home of the Blood Dragon Order, an honorable martial order until Wallacharkan visited and killed them all and turned them into vampires. We have minus 5% upkeep for Blood Knights. And is that all? Extra leadership for them, and we can recruit them. It's not bad. Extra recruit rank for vampires faction-wide, and we can recruit vampires here. Blood Knights are cheaper, they cost less faction-wide, and they recruit in less time. All sorts of good stuff. Just gonna be up to a tier 5. It's gonna be a little bit before we get there. We got a mausoleum, so we can get some Graveguard. That's incredible. We'll repair that. And we should repair, or at least build in some walls. Definitely don't need the Abyssal Wood. And we'll go ahead and stop collecting income just for the time being, allow our corruption to spread. The shield guys, I really wish we could use those. Alright, and here is a fantastic place to end the first of our 2 episodes here for our Vlad. We are the Empire. Shorter campaign. Thanks all for stopping on by, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please do remember to leave a like for the Light God and a sub for the Sub Throne. If you have any kind of unit name suggestions or kind of sub goals we could hit while we are completing this secondary chapter, please do remember to leave those in the comments below there, and I will see you all in the next one.